Today we're using my fastest killing GPMG-7 here in Black Ops 6 Season 3. I made an overpowered class so that you guys can dominate lobbies with. Let's get right into the attachments. For my first attachment for my optic, I was using the Volksky Reflex. I personally don't like the iron sights, and I feel like you're going to get a lot more kills with the Reflex on, so make sure you guys have this on. For my next attachment for the muzzle, I was using the ported compensator, and this is going to give you 2 ticks of first shot recoil control as well as 2 ticks of vertical recoil control. I personally love this attachment because it's going to make sure you have control towards your gun kick as well as vertical recoil control, so you're able to take those longer range gunfights. So make sure you guys have this on. You guys can see here with the stats, you're getting 30% to the first shot recoil control skill, 15% to the recoil gun kick control, and then 15% to the vertical recoil control. For my next attachment for the barrel, I was using the long barrel, and this is going to give you 3 ticks to the damage range. I personally love this attachment because, one, it's going to give you the maximum amount of damage range as well as increase your damage at those longer ranges, so make sure you guys have this on. You guys can see here with the stats, the damage at effective range is 72.6 and the damage on that is 23, and then the damage beyond range is 72.6 and the damage on that is 19. For my next attachment for my underbarrel, I was using the Ranger foregrip, and this is going to give you 2 ticks of horizontal recoil control as well as 1 tick of sprinting movement speed. I personally love this attachment because it's going to speed your weapon up as well as give you some recoil control. You're not going to have as much recoil control as the vertical foregrip, but this thing is going to increase your movement speed. Since this thing is an LMG, it's not going to have the fastest movement attachment. Is definitely going to help out, so make sure you guys have this on. You guys can see here with the stats, you're getting 17% to the horizontal recoil control and then 7% to the sprinting movement speed. For my next attachment for the magazine, I had the biggest extended mag just so I don't have to reload at all and I can take a lot more gunfights. Obviously, this is all personal preference. You guys can choose whatever magazine you guys want, but I was using the biggest magazine in the gameplay. For my next attachment for the rear grip, I was using the ergonomic grip, and this is going to give you 3 ticks of dive to fire speed, 3 ticks of slide to fire speed, 2 ticks of ADS speed, and then 2 ticks of jumping ADS speed. If you guys do slide or dive, you are definitely going to love this attachment because if you do slide or dive, you are going to be picking up your weapon extremely fast as well as ADSing fast. And if you guys do decide to jump, you are going to be increasing your ADS speed as well whenever you do jump. So make sure you guys have this on. You guys can see here with the stats, you're getting 12% to the ADS speed, 13% to the jump ADS speed, 50% to the slide to fire speed, and then 50% to the dive to fire speed. For my next attachment for the stock, I had the balance stock, and this is going to give you 2 ticks of strafing movement speed, 2 ticks of hipfire movement speed, 1 tick of movement speed, and then 1 tick of aim walking movement speed. You guys can see here with the stats, you're getting 12% to the movement speed, 22% to the crouch movement speed, and then 10% to the ADS movement speed. Finally, for the fire mods, I had the recoil springs, and this is going to give you 1 tick of horizontal recoil control as well as 1 tick of vertical recoil control. You guys can see here with the stats, you're getting 5% to the recoil gun kick control, 5% to the horizontal recoil control, and then 5% to the vertical recoil control. Here are all my perks on the screen for the wildcard. Make sure you guys are using Gunfighter so that way you guys can have all these attachments. Here are all the attachments on the screen with the stats. If you guys are new, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Today I'm using the MG or the I don't even know at this point. I wouldn't be surprised with you guys because honestly, or you guys shouldn't be surprised because every single COD I forget the names of these guns until I like look at the weapon selection screen. But we're gonna see how this game goes. If it goes good, I'll start my little story. If it doesn't, then you'll probably see it in a different map. But I'm pretty sure this is gonna go good. I had to bring my dog to the hospital last night. Basically like midnight. She was coughing a little bit. Turns out, well, we thought it was congestive heart failure at first because that's what one of the doctors said at first. Turns out it's a collapsed trachea, and a lot of smaller dogs in that same type of breed. I have a Pomeranian, but those type of smaller dogs or smaller sized dogs tend to get that. I'm not sure if it's very frequent or what, but it does not sound pleasant. So what it almost sounds like a seal or like a goose. Basically like that. And they just cough until they catch their breath. And we honestly just thought it was normal, if I'm going to be honest, because she always had that like little cough after we noticed, after we brought her to the doctors the first time. And the crazy thing is, last year on the same exact day, the 5th, 05, like 3 years ago, we took her the same exact day. So it's kind of crazy.
Hardpoint located.
But it's not like she's a newer puppy to me. She's I've basically had her since before I even started YouTube. So that, if you put that in perspective, she's very, very old. She's like 13 years old. I'm gonna throw this in here. There we go, team. I got the advancing pin for you. Yep, really bad peek on me. I don't have gunship either, so that's gonna be a little bit of an issue. We got the WC4 though. I'm gonna try my best to win with this thing, but I mean, you guys can obviously tell this thing is not the best LMG in the game. Oh my god. I don't know what is happening with my voice. It's peeking, cracking, doing all types of stuff. Not peeking, honestly, on my thing, but like... That's fine. You can sit there and snipe all you want. I'm gonna sit back here and I'm gonna have a little party. You think you're gonna party in here? No, you're not.
Taking the lead. Stay on task.
Dang, we were actually frying with that thing. I don't even know what metal that was. It almost looked like that one metal or prestige emblem from Cold War. Pretty cool. Ah, dang, that was a nice shot by Head Tap University. I don't know why. For a second, I like paused mid name. I don't know that word, but mid name, and low key was very concerned about his name at first, until I realized that it was a normal name, or like a real name, and not like US or anything. Alright, we gotta go back. Yeah, this thing has so much going on. Holy. Alright, that dude is a little bit of a stupid head. Yeah, the aim assist is absolutely destroyed whenever you throw a smoke. Dude, he's in the corner, teammate. You should have fried him.
Enemy UAV inbound.
See, like with these sort of non-meta weapons, it is a little bit harder to win games, just because you're getting outgunned by some things, and it's not really ideal to use a giant hefty LMG into a hill size like this. So if I lose some games, I post them, I lose some games, but I am still like
hardpoint.
compensating with some of the streaks I'm having.
Hostile counter UAV established above.
Oh my god, you almost got fried, my friend. It's not like we're too far behind either. Definitely winnable game.
UAV inbound. Hardpoint locked down.
My brother.
Enemy UAV inbound.
Alright,
Hostiles have the hardpoint.
we are spawning here. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful news.
Hardpoint is secure.
Hold on a minute, they just flipped?
Hostile UAV established overhead. Hardpoint identified.
Bye bye, Bozo.
Hardpoint is active. Hardpoint locked down.
I thought that was an enemy right on the left side of me. I thought it was dead. No way. I don't even know what gun team it's using, but he shouldn't have lost that gunfight, I can tell you that. Alright, controller problems. Teammates over there looking at the freaking sky, trying to see what colors the freaking... I was gonna say see what color the sky is, but I already said sky, so it didn't really make too much sense to me. You say sky a third time. Pow, right in the face.
Hardpoint located.
Alright. We're low-key coming back on them. Low-key. Here, I said low-key. Honestly, since I'm not really streaking, I'm just gonna sit on the hill. Proof them, brother. Alright, we got some nerdingtons right there on that Jeep. We just need to at least get 30 to 20 points ahead of them, and I think we're guaranteed that win. Ha, I stole your kill. Tuckington. What in the world is that name? Tuckington. Bow.
We're flying on fumes. UAV returning to base.
Hardpoint identified. Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Some of these maps in this game I really do love, but it's just they don't really play.
Hardpoint is active.
They don't play well. Like Hacienda, really cool map. First time I've seen a Black Ops 4 map come back. Very excited to see that, and it's just I don't know. It doesn't really play as well as I thought it would. You know, it's like with that map, not a lot of people move around. They kind of stuck to a confined space, low-key. Alright, bro. Sitting up there. Teammates not really doing too much. I swear, too good. If this dude is still up here. Oh my god. I was about to say.
Hostile UAV established overhead. Hardpoint is secure. Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Alright, we're getting to ridiculous numbers right now. I was gonna throw a C4 in there to try and get them out, like from contesting it, but not gonna work.
Hardpoint active.
Dude, teammate, are you gonna like fire your gun?
Trust is a luxury you cannot entirely own.
Taking the lead. Stay on task.
Freaking Molotov, man.
Hardpoint identified.
Alright, brother. I did not ask for the semi-auto GPMG. There we go. That's the gun name. Now I remembered it. If I asked for a semi-auto GPMG, I would have just blindfolded myself. So I would have covered my eyes, or covered my eyes with the ski. I'm gonna say covered my ski with the eyes. Like, well, what is my English? This is redonkulous. Redonkulous. We gotta get in that hill and push it. Like, we gotta get in or else we're gonna lose. Teammates, teammates, push, teammates, push, teammates, please. Teammates, save my back. No, you're not killing me, bucko. Not gonna happen today. I'm sorry. Not sorry. You think you're getting in there, Seth Rogen? I don't think so. There we go. We got the win. If you guys are new, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.